person's power too hastily. After all, there's a chance that someone who initially appears to be small fry may be actually an extremely overpowered being. In that case, anyone that makes the mistake of looking down on them or making them mad better watch out. Look at 10 new Isekai anime where the main character looks weak but is strong as hell. Before we begin, be sure to drop a like and subscribe down below for more anime top 10s. And without further ado, let's get right into the video.
それを空気の壁で包んで着弾と同時に火種から引火させる。
Number 10. Do you love your mum? And her 2-hit multi-target attacks.
運が世界を分かち統括することになった契約の印でもある。母なる大海の聖剣。
Okay, so maybe this isn't exactly the power fantasy anime you were looking for, but it always had us on the floor laughing. Not to mention the characters actually have awesome chemistry. Plus, you can't deny how insanely powerful Mamako really is. This anime is about a teenager, Masato, that plays way too many video games. Sounds familiar? He gets magically sent to a fantasy game, but unfortunately, his mother gets sent as well. I'm sure you can tell that this is the perfect setting for some great comedy. But it gets even better. Although Masato is constantly trying to impress his pretty quality harem of mages and other fantasy characters, his mother is just way too overpowered and overprotective. She is constantly embarrassing her son, but also defending him. Honestly, this is such a cute and sweet anime, and the ending of the opening arc is actually pretty heartwarming and rewarding. It has a really good sense of humor, the harem stuff feels a bit weird, but the chemistry and comedy really tie it up nicely. Give it a watch, maybe with your mum. Alright, maybe not.
Number 9. Crepusculum. How not to summon a demon lord. Think of a demon lord, you probably imagine something along the lines of monstrous and all-powerful. However, Crepusculum is the exact opposite of that. Despite being a demon lord, she appears in the form of a little girl, and is more interested in satisfying her sweet tooth than inflicting destruction upon other races. However, if the people she cares about are in danger, she will awaken into her true form. In this state, she possesses unlimited magical powers that can bypass any defense. Even Diablo's defense spells were useless against her overwhelming strength. How Not to Summon a Demon Lord is a highly entertaining anime that adheres to the genre's conventions. For an isekai series with an overpowered otaku stuck in an MMORPG, How Not to Summon a Demon Lord has a great deal of heart and an endearing sense of humor. Number 8. Gwendolyn von Buymaster. The 8th son? Are you kidding me? This anime follows Gwendolyn, a boy who becomes a magician after he begins reading in his family library and realizes he has talent for magic. After being trained by the most powerful magicians in the land and even surpassing them, Gwendolyn set on the road to becoming an adventurer. Since this series is largely about how much trouble being a part of noble society is, Gwendolyn's power has constantly thrown him into larger and larger amounts of trouble. He dispatched massive dragons with ease, clears out monster armies with little help. There seems to be no upper limit to his power. This anime proves to be a delightful watch from the start. It skillfully portrays a man who gets isekai'd into another world, while still managing to make it entertaining. While some parts, especially the magic and the adventure, can seem like nothing special, they add an entertaining element to the anime that makes it still interesting to watch. Number 7. Naofumi Watanabe, The Rousing of the Shield Hero. Naofumi Iwatani came into the isekai world as the ultimate underdog. Not only did he have a relatively limited skill as a hero, but he immediately had an entire empire conspiring against him. Not one to let social prejudice get to him. Naofumi perseveres to continue adventuring and getting stronger, overachieving in the process. Equipped with more diverse shields than Batman has batarangs, Naofumi has both intelligence and power to take on a wide variety of challenges. Whether he's defending against attacks or just trapping people within his own shield, Naofumi has proved that an immovable object can also be an unstoppable force. While the story and graphics may not be the best out there, it certainly does make for one entertaining character journey. Number 6. Shin Wolford, Wise Man's Grandchild.
この世界の魔法は無影響で成立する。要はイメージさえしっかりしていればいい。
As an isekai protagonist that was guilty of speedrunning, it would be Shin Wolford. Despite having few memories of his previous life, Shin awoken in this new world, obtaining pretty much every gift it has to offer. Having been trained by the legendary wizard himself, Merlin, Shin became an exceptional magic user that even began innovating in front of his own magical peers. With plenty of teachers to educate him in the art of sword and hunting, Shin has also become a talented combatant and survivalist. If Shin Wolford was seemingly good at everything isn't considered overpowered, there really is no one else out there. Overall, Wise Man's Grandchild is a fun isekai adventure. While the series doesn't offer anything particularly new, it does a good job of bringing out the best parts the genre has to offer. Number 5. Maple. Woefully, I do not want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. Maple is the main protagonist of the anime and is truly a terrifying raid boss to encounter. Don't let her cute outer appearance fool you, because this monster can one-shot you if you're not careful. All jokes aside, Maple is a cute ditz with very little gaming experience under her belt. Through her wholesome character traits, she also happened to stumble across the most overpowered tank known to mankind. As frosting on the cake, the game devs had no idea how to deal with her becoming so powerful.
Number 4. Knights and Magic. Knights and Magic is a pretty interesting mecha isekai world. Pretty unique, it tells the tale of a young man who dies in a car accident and wakes up in this alien world. It ties in nicely with his dream of building and piloting his very own mecha. The mecha world has a very cool medieval fantasy feel to it. It has a really interesting blend of tech, kings and knights that have to battle these insanely powerful creatures that are known as demon beasts. Reborn as the son of a nobleman with magical powers, our MC learns how to become a Knight Runner, an elite mecha pilot. Organising his very own crew, the anime is all about fighting. It's actually so awesome and so unbelievably stylish. Number 3. Saga of Tanya the Evil. A pretty long-running manga and light novel series, the anime adaptation was not received that well. The world building and backgrounds are just really strange, but we loved it nonetheless. You need to really appreciate the seinen that tries to do something different. Set in modern-day Tokyo, a young man is murdered by an angry co-worker. Confronted by God, criticised for not having faith in a higher power, the MC is punished and reborn as an orphan girl in a World War II alternative reality. Man, the story of Tanya von Dugerchaff is dark and very heavy. Like the character development of the MC alone, which is why you watch this anime. Just watching her decisions in really tense situations makes this a must-watch. The sort of decisions that Tanya makes doesn't make her a nice character, but definitely makes her a great one.
Rimuru Tempest, that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Following his death, Satori Mikami is reincarnated into a new world as a slime named Rimuru Tempest. However, unlike the average slime, he possesses a unique set of skills. The power of gluttony. He can consume organic or non-organic materials and store them inside of himself, as well as being able to replicate the appearance of living beings he also absorbed. He then analyzes their properties and skills and can even absorb that, increasing his own power in the process. Thanks to Great Sage, he can store and learn information on almost every magic type life at an accelerated rate. With this power, Rimuru evolved into a demon slime and even became the ruler of the Jura Tempest Federation. That time I got reincarnated as a slime, or Tigris for short, despite seeming like a harem show, really isn't. This anime's focus on world building and how Rimuru would change how monsters and humans would live. Also, the action scenes are badass in this anime.
And number 1, problem children are coming from another world, aren't they?
かなり期待できそうだ。行くぜ。
You can't talk about overpowered MCs without mentioning Izuyoi Sakamaki. This guy is so overpowered and he knows it. He has such strong psychic powers and is so bored because no one here can challenge him. The story starts off with him taking to a foreign world where he needs help to restore the balance and defeat a demon lord. The manga is really good. The anime is solid and should be seen. It's a really good action comedy fantasy. The world backstory is also really interesting. It's a bit technical, but a lot like those video game isekai.